Good morning everybody, part 4. I hope this is the last one to finish off this LT4 Corvette. I've been working on it more and more, cleaning it. That's probably why I look really gunky, and my hair also has like a bunch of gunk on it. I've been cleaning the very bottom. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but this looks a lot better than it was. I mean, I reached in and places that are really hard to get to. A lot of places in there, on the inside, in between crevices you'll never see. Okay, there is a secret me and my brother came up with to install that hub, and that is this right here. You have to create your own tool. So what this is this is a threaded rod. They usually sell it by about I think maybe 3 feet long. This is 7/16 20 pitch, and what you need to do is buy a good quality one, the one that's hard metal, and cut it to 10 inches, not 12, 10 inches. Buy yourself 2 nuts, one here that you have to weld down onto the end, and one here. This one will move freely. So this one was on its last go. They usually last like a few, pulley installs. Anyway, I should have got some better washers, but get yourself some thick washers, a few of them, and then you need a bearing about this size. This is actually from a motorcycle bearing. I'll give you guys a shot of what that number is in a bit. You can't do it without this bearing. What you do is you feed your nut first, about that much in, and then your washers, and then your bearing, and then you want to thread this rod onto the very end of the snout, and then once you get to the very end of the crank, just back it off a little bit, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be pressed in there all the way. And then basically what's going to happen is you're going to go tightening this more and more and more, and these washers will start to press in that hub all the way. And eventually, when you're almost all the way through, this crank is going to start spinning, so you need a buddy to hold one of the crank ears. This pulley shouldn't be on there, by the way, obviously. So one of your buddies is going to have to hold on one of these ears while you're still tightening the last few rounds. You want to make sure you tighten it until you can't really tighten it anymore. You're going to end up having this out still like a 1/4 inch. Or whatever it is. That's a little bit tricky, but that's how you do it. That's the secret without taking this engine out or anything. I just didn't have time to record that hub install, but quick word of advice. You want to use a wrench that looks like this. You can see that it would hug all the corners. This is not the right size head, but you see, if you use a regular one that's just like straight from here, you might have a chance of rounding this out, because you do have to pull this pretty hard. Not like all your strength, but you know what I mean. It's very, very, very tight. So just caution. Okay, what a mess. I'm pretty much ready to start installing everything. All these parts. Check out this throttle body. Look how clean it looks now. Got new hardware and everything. If you guys haven't seen my last videos, go ahead and watch the last ones from the very beginning, so you guys can see this Corvette being fixed up and some parts are stored and whatnot. Look at this. This is a steering pump. Okay, let me just real quick get this out of the way, because I gotta put in the OptiSpark. Well, just testing this out real quick, and as you can tell, I even make these parts look nice. I'm not going to be able to pull this out unless I lift the engine a little bit, so I just need it like this. So this is the infamous All-Spark Cube, or OptiSpark, I'm just kidding. And this cost our friend about $450 shipped out, so this is not cheap. This is a Petrus Opti. I've had good luck with them. I wouldn't get anything else. I spin my engine around 6,500 RPM all the time. Take a look at that. And the seller says that the optical sensor on this one is as good or better than the Mitsubishi sensor that's on the original. Good bearings. Look, it's got seals already. Comes with everything I need. This is going to be a really tight fit. You can make some extra room by moving this ear off out of the way. I want to make sure I get the cam correct with this side right here. Got our little dowel pen on the very bottom. Okay, it's not in there until it's totally flat with the timing cover. Now for this pulley down here, this can only go in one way. These ears aren't exactly the same distance. On this piece, whatever, you can just leave it on there, rotate it, I think it's right here, and then start fitting your bolts in. And if one bolt lines up and the others don't line up, then it's the wrong way. You just gotta rotate it again. A lot of the old fittings, bolts that are still usable, I like to polish them up so that they can look real nice when they go back in. I don't like to put them in when they're all black and gunky, you know. Should put this one first. Gray RTV, and I'm about to put it onto the China walls. Okay, just need a good bead. Very easy. And you want to leave a little extra on the very edge. Alright, just a good healthy bead. Now for the intake gaskets, and I'm using this number by Fel Pro. I suggest using these even if you're stock heads or ported heads like LE1 or LE2. You can still use these. It's probably the best ones to use in my opinion. Okay, we can't wait forever. This RTV is already drying. Okay, easy. Okay, here's some new hardware I picked up along with some washers. These will look extra nice. And there's a torque sequence you have to follow. Let's get to it. And of course we still need to use our studs that came with the intake. We need to install these studs in their usual location. I already got some bits installed this side and this side. And now I'm going to install this pulley bracket. I just finished up installing the spark plug wires, cleaned them up and everything, even the brackets, even up here and everything. So before you start putting on a lot of the pulleys, I would do that first. Make sure each one of these is in the correct spot for each cylinder. And now we're ready to install our pulleys. Once again, I finished matching up the spark plug wires onto from each cylinder onto the Opti spark, and you can see they're real nice and clean. I cleaned both sides. I don't want to give it to them and really dirty. I can't clean this car too much. I mean, it's so messy, but I'm trying to give it back to them in best condition possible. But now it's time to install the water pump, which here it is. Golly, I used to have another one of these that didn't apply that much. This is a good way to not lose any kind of water. It's a little bit excessive. I really did not want to put this much, but oh well. Just finished up tightening up a few areas here. Basically done on this side. Pretty much this side takes longer, and I also had to cut new vacuum lines everywhere. A lot of these are just old, So I got some new ones made with Davies Corvette. Some that are like special sizes that are different diameters on each side. Cut some new ones up for them. Here's this side. Here's the breather for the Opti spark. So that goes all the way down. And this one goes onto the intake. Yeah, it looks real nice and fresh in here. So I'm going to tackle this side, which will be quick, and put the other pulleys. It's going to be ready to crank up in just a bit. There's not much else left to do but to install all the water hoses and the intake. We should be ready to crank it after that. Before I go ahead and put this upper radiator hose inside, I need to move this tensioner pulley, and it's really hard to do it with this still on, so I'm going to put the serpentine belt on right now. I lost one, but two, one there and one here, but this bolt here will still hold it, so we'll be okay. This piece you just really gotta like muscle it in. I'm definitely not going to install the air filter like this. This is my air filter cleaning product, and give it a good spray. I also want to mention that we're going to hose this down, but you never want to push the water from the outside to the inside. You want to wash it from the inside out, because you don't want to get any of this stuff stuck further in. You always wash it to the outside. There you go, right next to your buddy. So I'm gonna put some more oil on the filter now that it's dry. Well, it should be on the other side, on the outside. Don't want to overdo it, by the way. Oh, here it is. Okay. This goes into the harness, and I now connect this wire with that blue wire, and this one onto the ground that's over there in the very corner. Pretty simple. Okay, I'll be back. Everything's buttoned down and the water pump is running. I just tested it. I'm gonna start cranking. I'm gonna prime the fuel lines, and then I'm gonna start cranking. It better turn on. Brother, damn! Look, Hector, I've never seen this before. Okay. There's like water coming out of the. Never seen it without the coolant cap. Okay, that's the positive about running an electric water pump. You could have the keys on accessory mode. Basically, it's the. This thing's bleeding. It's right before you crank it, all the way back, right before cranking, and it will run your water pump. Okay, it's cranking time. Sure, it's not in gear. Nope. Okay, let's see what happens. First crank, starts in the first crank. It's already at 800 RPM idle. Wow, I can't believe it, guys. That's running smooth, very smooth. 600, 800 RPM, cold start. Yep, very smooth idle. Hey! He doesn't like loud noises. Hunter! Well, everyone, there you have it. That's the LT4, and it's running now, so the guy's gonna pick it up soon. I did run into a little small problem. As you can see, I took out the throttle body, and that's because the gasket that was down here for the EAC water passage was just not good. Where did I leave that gasket? Here it is. I don't know why I reused it. I didn't really reuse a lot of gasket, but I did reuse this gasket, and I shouldn't have. I mean, look at it. No wonder it was leaking through. Oh, and one more thing. I took out the computer. I just want to do one last extra thing. You know, a lot of these parts are nice and redone, and that's a big piece of aluminum that's there that was just really old looking, so I decided to spray it for him just as an extra. And that's gonna look real nice when it's on there again. All right. See you guys next time. Thanks for viewing. Yeah, I just don't have my pump anymore. It doesn't work anymore. So, oh shoot. All right, Gus, she's ready. The cooling system is all done. Congratulations. You guys seriously never been here. I swear I thought I brought you guys with me. Test drive.